Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Ivtron, and today I want to talk a little bit about an upcoming event called Stand By Me. It's going to take place during the whole Lantern Night Festival, and basically what you're going to be able to do is choose one of these characters. They're all related to Leeway in some way. They're all 4 stars, and I'm going to basically go over what each character, in my opinion, is good for, and if you're looking for a constellation, which constellation is going to be good for them. Now, it's purely my opinion, right? It's not related to any kind of meta, anything like that. I'm just going to tell you what I believe and what I've so far experienced and seen from each of these characters. Don't flame me in the comments if I, don't say your wife was the best or anything like that. But first of all, we have Xiangling. Now, Xiangling, in this account, I don't have her leveled up. I did have a second account when I first started the game, where I did level her up and I used her quite a bit on my main team. Now, if you're starting off the game, you're not going to have that many pyro characters. Xiangling, I believe you get her pretty early on, and you can get her really easily. I think all you have to do is beat floor 3 of the event, if that still applies. I'm not sure. But you should be able to get her really easily. She's great. She's a great character. I personally think, although she can do main DPS, I would personally always run her as a support. The reason is because both of her skills allow her to, use her skill, use her ult, and those will persist throughout, even if you switch a character. So let's say you're using Child, right? Child's your main DPS. You pop out Xiangling, you pop out your Goba, you use your ult, and then you switch back to Child, and now you have a little tornado and a little bear throwing fire out while you're vaporizing with water. And it's a great combo. Not only that, she's going to be able to work with a variety of characters. I've always personally preferred her as a support character, and she's really good because she's going to give you this little 10% bonus for your attack when Goba leaves. But also her Pyronado does a lot of damage. It really does. Goba also, I believe, decreases resistance at a certain constellation. Yeah, pyro resistance reduced by 15%. So, hey, you can even use her with another pyro character. So, really awesome. Pyro is one of the strongest elements in the game. So, the reason for that is with the pyro resonance as well, right? 25% attack. So, if you're using as a support, let's say you have main Diluc or somebody, pyro resonance plus this, already really good, right? C1, if you're going to be using it with another pyro, yeah, recommend it. I would actually prefer you to get a C4 though. It is asking a lot, but C4 increases the pyro NATO duration by 40%. Yeah, it's really good. Really good. More time, more pyro NATO, more energy, more reactions, more damage, basically. Yeah, Xiangling is she's just a good character, but I feel like she's more suited towards the support role. So if you want to get her, at C1 or C4, or even if you're further up, yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be useful in all those. If you don't have her at all and you want to get her, you need a pyro character. Yeah, she's gonna be one of the better ones. But before we get into more of those, Xinyan is the next one. She's also pyro. So you can also get it for free. She's actually one of the newer 4-star characters, and she's actually on the current banner as well. So if you haven't summoned, and you feel like you might miss out, hey, Xinyan's going to be great. I think Xinyan's going to be specifically good in a physical damage comp team, because her shield is going to provide you extra damage to physical damage teams, I guess. It's going to be 15%, I believe. Yeah, 15% decreased physical damage. So, pretty good stuff. She can also be a main DPS because she does have the damage to do it. Now, as far as constellations go, we have her at C2, which I do. I can actually get her to C4. Yeah, forgot to summon. But her C2, what it does is gonna guarantee that her ultimate will crit. Now, that's really cool. There's nobody else that does that. A 100% guaranteed crit on her ult, which is, her ult is mainly physical damage. It does a little bit of pyro, but it's not significant enough. the majority of the damage is physical damage. Now, what you could do at that point is just put her on 2-piece blessing or 2-piece noblesse. Give her like a physical damage bonus up with maybe a physical damage weapon, and give her crap and just literally bombard her with crit damage. And that ultimate is going to be hurting like a lot. So really, really good stuff there. If you want her at C2, and you just at C2, you can really basically just use her as an ult spammer, especially if you have some like another pyro with you. So just give her that energy bag and just ult spam. Just ult spam. That's what I want to do with her. I'll be honest with you, but she's gonna be really good. Pyro again, pyro resonance, 25% attack, just good. Pyro shield. It's going to be able to help you in certain domains, right, where you have like a lot of pyro damage coming towards you, and the pyro mages at a later stages are really, really annoying. So that pyro shield that absorbs pyro 250% better is going to be, you know, really useful. So Xingling, positives, she can be a main DPS. She's a great support for physical damage team comps, and just herself, depending on the constellation, you can do a crap ton of damage. Also, if you have her even higher, C6, she does 50% extra of her defense on attack. That's pretty awesome. I would definitely recommend doing that. I think between her and Xiangling, if you're looking for a more pyro based, I would get Xiangling. She's just gonna be able to get that pyro out more often than I feel Xingling. But if you have a superconductor team, you know, you're running that kind of physical damage team, yeah, get Chongyun. He's going to be really useful. Besides that, we have Beidou. Now, Beidou's kind of interesting. I like her. I like her playstyle. It's very unique. She has a menagerie of items here. Don't worry about what she's currently rocking. I don't have her built at all. But my friend has her built as like a main DPS, and she just looks like a lot of fun, man. What's cool about Beidou is she has this thing called Tide. Now what it is it's a counter. Basically, she gets ready her sword, and just the amount of damage she can mitigate and then return, it can be absolutely nuts. If you have her high enough, let's say you crown her talent, you can one-shot a lot of elites and stuff with just this skill alone. It can do a lot of damage. And we've had it in the past where Abyss has had floors where electro damage is just amped up, and she will clear that whole floor with just her one counter. It's kind of amazing, honestly. But on top of that, her ultimate is going to allow her to also become a support if you want her to use her that way. What it's going to do is it's going to chain lightning, going to draw like 2 little dragons around her, and it's going to be able to chain lightning every time you do a basic or a charge attack. Now, this can be really good, especially if you're running her on like a superconduct team or a electro charge team, especially an electro charge team. Let's say you want to run her with Child, or you want to run her with Sincho. She's going to be really good. Now, as far as constellations go, C2 is where you want her at for a supportive role. If you want to use her like a main DPS, then I would say probably C4, at least, right? She's not like her constellation. Her first one doesn't do that much. It creates a shield for her. It's good, but it's not that crazy. Now, C2 is gonna allow her lightning to jump up to 2 more enemies. That's really good, especially for a support role and an electro charge role, right? It's just gonna be able to jump from one enemy to the other, to the other, to the other, and then you can just go crazy. Now she can be fun to use. From when I was first trying out all the characters, she's one that I tried out. She's just fun, man. It's just a cool, unique playstyle that nobody else really has, and it's just useful in a lot of ways. If you want to run her as main DPS, you definitely can, but you're just gonna have to pump more high quality resources into her, right? You're just gonna have to rent those artifacts a lot more and stuff like that, which, I mean, I guess could be the same argument given for any kind of main DPS. But positives, she could be both main DPS and support. I think she excels at support, and just fun game style. Yeah, that is Beidou. now moving on to, I believe it was, oh, Ningguang. Ningguang, over here. Now, Ningguang is one of my favorites. He not only looks cool, and I love that white hair, just awesome style, but Ningguang is all about that DPS. She doesn't really do support all that well, but she is going to be kind of cracked once you build her up. Now, basically all the damage from Ningguang is going to be through her charge attack. How much so? It's pretty significant. If you're doing normal attacks, 39%. Not crazy, right? And this is just level 6, but 39%. But notice the difference to the charge attack, which is 244%. It's pretty significant. So you basically want to do her normal attacks, get her started up, then you do the charge attack. It's pretty bursty. But if we're going to talk about burst, let's talk about ultimate and her Jade Screen. Her Jade Screen does 323%. It's a lot of damage. And that's really useful because at a certain constellation, you can use that basically twice in rapid succession. C2. C1, it's not that great, honestly. I'm going to be honest with you. Normal attack hits, deals AoE damage. But since her normal attacks don't do that much damage, her AoE doesn't do that much damage. It's useful for mobs, but it's not going to be your greatest thing. It's not going to be the greatest thing in the world. However, once you get her C2, you want to use Ning as a DPS, main DPS. C2 is where I personally believe you should have her at least. And if you can get her higher than that, she just gets better. She just gets better. And especially at C6. But C2, at least, main DPS, which is just basically going to allow you to replace your Jade Screen in rapid succession once it's destroyed. Keep in mind, if you have it out in the ult, it gets destroyed. It does help you because it shoots out extra little rock fragments that also do damage, but you can say set the Jade Screen instantly down again, and it's another, you know, for me right now 25k, so 25k times 2, pretty decent chunk of damage there in quick succession. Now she's completely awesome. Pretty much main DPS. If you have the Solar Pearl, she's gonna want it. That's honestly one of the best in slot weapons for her. I haven't seen many people use anything else. The 5 stars aren't that great for her, honestly. And this is seemingly kind of the best one for her, especially if you're using her mostly for her ultimate, because Solar Pearl increases that, right? Her ultimate also increases her normal attacks, but it's, like I said, her normal attacks aren't that great, so that's usually not what you want to focus on. But yeah, she's great. So positives, main DPS, Geo, which has just gotten a recent buff for the resonance, and especially if you have Xiangling, you can use her in tandem with Xiangling. That Geo shred plus, you know, 15% damage from the Geo resonance, really good. Gonna be really good. So yeah, you don't have Ning, you could definitely get her, but remember, D2. Also, what I would keep in mind is the upcoming banner is going to be a Kaching banner, which has Beidou, Ningguang, and Bennett. Now, they put Bennett in there to bait people into, you know, summoning for that. But if you already have Bennett, and especially if you already have Bennett C1, maybe don't summon on that banner. Because if you are going to summon on that banner, then I would recommend you not get Ningguang or Beidou, because you're probably going to get one of them in the banner, you know. So keep that in mind before you actually choose who you want. But if you're not planning on summoning on that banner, yeah, Ning's a great choice. Great DPS. And just a lot of fun to use, honestly. But after Ningguang, we have Sincho. Sincho is quite possibly one of the best supports, like maybe right after Bennett, I don't know. Like, thing is, Sincho can do so much. Like, he's just so good. For a long time, he got pretty overshadowed. I think a lot of people didn't really talk about and they didn't really know what he did, and you know, it wasn't until later that people started using him that they realized, hey, Sincho does a lot of damage and he's really useful. Basically what his skill is going to do is going to do a lot of damage. Level 6, 235%. It hits once, then it hits again, it's 268%. a lot of damage, right? Easily 500%. And if you're running a sort of melt comp or something like that, this little skill can actually hit really, really hard. But it doesn't stop there. It's gonna put swords around you, which are gonna give you a damage reduction. And once the sword is destroyed, at first you start out with 3, but if you have them see 1, it's 4. If one of those swords is destroyed when you take damage, you're gonna take less damage, and that is gonna heal you 6% of Sincho's max HP. Now he's not gonna be like a main healer or anything, right? I wouldn't recommend you stacking HP and like he was Barber or something and then just using him for the heal. It's not gonna be all that great. Mainly because it's limited to 4 picks, and it's just, I wouldn't rely on the heal. It's good, and it's going to be helpful. It's just not going to be that significant. You're still going to get one-shotted if you get hit by like a ruined guard that's flying like towards you, with the diving attack. So don't don't overestimate the damage reduction in the heal, but it is helpful, right? And on top of a skill that already does a lot of damage. But his ultimate is really where Sincho shine. I apologize if you're hearing dog sounds. My dog is going a little crazy with this toy over there. Hopefully you don't hear that. But his ultimate for Sincho is really, really good. It not only does a lot of damage, but his skill and his ultimate both persist even if you switch. Right? They're not going to end like, let's say, Razor Ult will. And it's going to allow you to team him up with pretty much anybody. Because even if you use them with like a mage or something like that, like a Ningguang, Lisa, Lee, a catalyst user, it's still gonna proc on every basic. So if you're using him in tandem with, like, let's say Lee's gonna use a little bomb, gonna put fire on the enemy, and then his ultimate's gonna shoot down with these rain swords onto that target. It's 4 of them. It's gonna shoot down, and they're gonna belt, and it's gonna do a lot of damage because each one does a lot of damage, and it's on every basic attack. So although it says 92%, it's 92% times the 4 swords plus the melt damage plus every basic attack. So you can see how it can scale up really, really high. He's just a great character. If you want to use him as like a main DPS as well, he can do it. He can definitely do it. I don't like him as a main DPS as much as I like other characters, right? But I've used him as a support for Dillik. He's great for Dillik because when you ult with Dillik, he has a fire sword, and every time I basic with that fire sword, Sincho's ult is a vaporize on that, and it's just a lot of fun to you. Just a lot of fun to you. I think overall, if you don't have Sincho, get him. He's a great character, and he's a great support for pretty much any team you want to run, whether it be freeze comp, melt comp, electro charge comp, your hydro damage comp. Like, he can do it all. This man is awesome. Not only that, this is one of the greatest things he can do. Talent material, right? Pain in the butt to get, and he has the chance to refund you some of those. So it can save you 1-2 runs over the time that I've had him pretty much since the beginning of the game. He's probably saved me, dozens of runs. So dozens of resin as well, hundreds of it. So he's overall going to be probably your priority if you don't have him. Honestly, I believe so. He's just that good. Enough about Sincho. Let's go to the last character, which is Chongyun, which he is in the beginning of. So Chongyun. First of all, he looks awesome. He just looks. Now I love Chongyun, but I love him specifically because I have him C6. Now I didn't search for the C6. I just kind of got it over time, but it's really good. The C6 basically allows him to do way more damage with his ult, and it's great. If you have Chongyun, he's gonna be kind of a give and take into how to use him. His skills basically are gonna allow you to make a field, and whichever character you're using, right, that has a polearm, a sword, or a claymore, their attacks become cryo damage instead. Now that can be useful, right? Let's say you don't have a hydro and you're going up against like a fire mage. Cryo's going to do a little bit more because it's doing like that reverse melt kind of thing. Pretty cool. Let's say you're going up against, you know, that horribly annoying Electro Batui. Those basic attacks, each one's gonna break down that shield even faster. Where I think Chongyun shines is his ultimate. His ultimate is not only does like a crap ton of damage, but each one of those swords, which you start off with 3, at C6 you get 4, but you start off with 3, each one of those can melt independently of each other. And if you melt with Chongyun, it can do a shit ton of damage. Like a crap ton. It's kind of unbelievable just how much damage he can do. Like, I honestly think he can do more damage than like Gone Yu at some points. He's just that good. But yeah, he can be a great cryo support, and if you want to use him, like I use him sometimes on 4-piece Noblesse for that ultimates. He's just so good. He's gonna be great. But if you, let's say you don't have him, do you want him? Yeah. Do you want him over Sincho? I don't think so. I think Sincho is gonna be a lot more useful overall because his skill can, like I said, can be a give and take. It's gonna make your basic attacks into cryo. But if you're using somebody like, let's say, Razor, who's pretty much all physical damage, right? That's where the majority of his damage comes from. And you turn that into cryo, he's suddenly doing cryo damage, and he has no bonuses for that, you know? It can definitely screw you, which it has a few times before when I didn't run the most, you know, competent of teams. But he is an awesome character. And I really, really like him. So if you want to run him like on a cryo team or some kind of melt team and even a freeze comp team, he's gonna be really good. He's definitely gonna be really useful. I haven't seen too many people run him as a main DPS, but if you want to consider just using him for his ult on main DPS, then yeah, I've seen that a lot. A lot of people do it, and even more so now that people are getting a lot more constellations on him. Yeah, way more people are using it. But I believe that's it for all the 4-star characters. I don't think I'm missing any of them, right? We talked about Xiangling, Beidou, Xinyan, Ningguang, Sincho, and Chongyun. Yeah, we went over all of them. So yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think. I definitely probably missed a lot of things that these characters can do just because there's so much to go over, and I didn't want to go, you know, for an hour in this video. Just because that would be way too long, and I'm already feel like my throat's drying up from talking this much. But yeah, Sincho overall, honestly, he's just so good. But if not, you know, depending on your constellations, you can make a decision from there. Hopefully I gave you enough information that you can make a better decision about who you're gonna get and feel confident about it. Also, I wouldn't rush, you know, to get the character. I'd give it some time, maybe see if you're summoning still, what you're gonna get, and you know, you don't want to get maybe too many constellations on one character. You definitely want another one, you know. So be a little patient with it and see where it goes from there. But besides that, guys, if you like the video, please leave a like. It helps a lot. The whole algorithm thing. If you like me, you want to see more stuff from me, then please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and thank you for it. Besides that, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Good luck with the whole Lantern Festival. Good luck on your summons if you're still doing them. And yeah, choose wisely, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.